Alright, welcome back, welcome back. This is in Duel Worth, an Exodia hand trap deck beating, well, as you can tell by the title, we're beating Dryton today. Or Dryton, Dryton, however you want to say that. Anyways, as I've said before, in previous videos, I have been working on and testing and working out, trying to, find a way to make this deck fun and competitive. I got it to Platinum last season. I did not get beyond Platinum 5. I don't think I really had enough time, but also, that's where the real tryhards are at, right? But at least in gold rank and below, it was a lot of fun, and it got some back and forth. This deck, as we're going against here, now I did add some new cards to this, which I'll show here. But as you can see, we got the Destiny Hero Phoenix. And we're playing against the recently nerfed Dryton, or Dryton, however you want to play it. Playing against Something Wong here. But I mean, so far, normally I turn one Dryton, I kind of give up, but they didn't Ash Blossom my Max C in the beginning. If they had ashed my Max C, I honestly would have just quit and surrendered. I would have done that. But they didn't. Now, the other thing you'll see here is when they finally, you saw that, or you may have seen it, they got Herald of Ultimateness in their hand. They did draw it out, but Herald of Ultimateness, which they sent to the graveyard, but they'll bring it back later because that's what Dryton decks do. As well as that Dryton card to summon stuff. Goodness. Anyways, so yeah, regular Dryton plays. Now, the changes I've made to this deck, I think the last video I may have done, I don't remember if that was the 40 card version or the 50 card version. There's Ultimateness. Now, they got Ultimateness back, but they don't have any fairies in their hands, besides maybe one. Maybe that one card might be a fairy type for negation, but I don't think so. And it's not. And that's the other thing, with the Destiny Hero, with this new card, this Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, it's awesome. It really is. I'm glad it finally made its way to Master Duel. But it works well with Time Lords. I can target Time Lords for my card on my side of the field, because Time Lords can't be destroyed anyway, so it don't matter. Now that orange light thing that just happened, that did kind of mess me up there a little bit, because the Herald of Orange Light, mainly because I only run one, and I only run one Destiny Hero Fusion, whatever that card is, in this particular deck. This would be a situation where I would want to run multiple, because thanks to Pot of Avarice, I can get any monster from my graveyard to my deck again. And another thing I added to this deck was Predaplant, which means if I get Predaplant back, and as you see here, I get, the Destroyer Phoenix back to the extra deck, just so I can draw more cards, but and thin out the deck more. But I don't have another fusion, and that was the other thing. But it's okay. I mean, I still have other boss monsters in this deck. We still got Zeus, and as you can see here, we're doing the Code Talker walk. We still got Access Code Talker. So I mean, we still have that going for us. So yeah, we still have that going for us. But, I might, if someone were to run 2 of the Destiny Hero Fusion card, mainly because that Fusion card is limited to 2 anyway, Fusion Destiny. Since it's semi-limited to 2, I would replace 1 Effect Veiler, because I'm currently running 3 in this deck, and I only really need 2. 1 to actually use, and then 1 to, use for the Hulk Walk into Access Code Talker. So I could sub 1 out for another Fusion Destiny, just for situations like these where they get rid of my Phoenix Enforcer and I can't bring it back, under normal circumstances. Now the other thing here, right, was that they yoinked my Access Code Talker and got Appaloosa on the field. Apollo USA. Anyways, so they got that on the field there. And they had game. They had lethal right there. I don't know if you noticed it there. They had lethal. So what I did was I went ahead and tried to trigger, basically get Apollo USA to lower its attack points on that first effect activation with Battle Fader. Mainly because I knew it would do it and it would bring it to where I could survive with 300 life points. That 800 there really is what saved me right here. The rest of it was just to sing, just to make it use up its resources in case, in case I didn't know how I was going to play the next turn. So that was just that. Or to see if they would actually let me do it. They didn't, but So yeah, because like I put all those cards back. See, now that since I only had one Destiny fusion, this Destiny Hero Dasher is a brick in my hand. More so than Exodia. Exodia as a level 1 still has uses, right? There's level 1 parts. But the Destiny Hero Dasher, I don't really have a use for it when it comes to other options. Like I could have sacked my Battle Fader for Destiny Hero Dasher, but now here's the thing, right? The other thing, I don't know if you noticed it at first. I didn't catch it in time, but I meant to catch it. The reason why I went with Slacker Magician after putting down my Kaiju, my Thunder King, the Lightning Strike Kaiju, because normally when I make this play, and the reason why I put him there is because I would put a level 1 down, which I did. I had put down the Exodia piece, and I was going to put them down. However, I saw that they, with their Max C, they drew into Herald of the Orange Light, which would mean that if I were to summon Relinquish Anima, which I just got back, and put it in front of the Kaiju to try and yoink it, they would just negate the ability with their orange, and then I would have a 0 attack monster right there that I couldn't stop anything from because it wouldn't be a direct attack, so Battle Fader would be useless. So that's why I instead went for Slacker Magician. However, I couldn't do a Zeus Walk because obviously attacking into my Thunder King Kaiju would just be not smart, and it would end the duel and I would lose. So I went the other option and put him down for twice per turn. It can't be destroyed by battle. Slacker Magician. And that way that also leaves room for Battle Fader. So now they have... So in this duel so far, right, I have gone through the Phoenix Enforcer. I've gone through Access Code Talker. Yeah, I've gone through Phoenix Enforcer and Access Code Talker. And now I'm getting them all back, except the Ash Blossom. So that sucked. So they finally played down the Herald of the Orange Light. And that was something I was waiting on. I was hoping that during those previous turns, they would do something where I would trigger Max C. Like I was hoping they would do a card that would force a special summon so that I could guarantee a Max C usage so that they could activate their Herald of Orange Light, which would therefore allow me to activate Battle Fader when it was my turn again. Because if I didn't, if they put down any other card and attacked and I activated Battle Fader, they could just straight up negate that with Herald of Orange Light. And then I would just lose the duel. If I activated Max C and they didn't plan on special summoning at all that turn, then it would have been a waste. And then, I could have lost the duel if they attack with someone else. So them playing the one card I was trying to avoid triggering the effect of, and then playing it and making it basically a vanilla monster for 300 worked out like a charm for me. Because now I got Battle Fader. And It's just enough life point difference that I can survive it. On 300 life points here, I can survive this crash and get out my third boss monster. So we've done the kaiju, we've done the access code talker, and now we have Zeus on the field. And I didn't do a field wipe immediately because nothing on that field was an immediate threat, but I did want to wait as long as possible to do the first field wipe because I did the walk and I have technically two wipes that I can use, which I just used one here in this chain, so I still have another wipe thanks for the downer magician walk. And so that's what I was waiting for. And then they played a card where they were going to special summon a monster, which I knew if they special summon one, that means they could link or do whatever since they'll have two monsters on the field. I didn't want that to happen, so I initiated the wipe. They initiated, and then I also initiated my Max C on top of that, which will be this chain link 3 over here, in order to protect any negation from the wipe or anything like that, and also to get a card because they were going to special summon. Um, after the wipe, they would special summon. But then they Ash Blossomed. So then once they special summoned those, I wiped again because I did not want to deal with whatever they were going to do. And then after that, they realized they couldn't do anything. At that point, I did not want to give them any momentum whatsoever. So I didn't. Now, with that being said, normally I would go ahead and show. I have 3 replays to show, really, and I would, under normal circumstances, show all of those. But in order to make these videos not as long, I'm just going to stick to just this one duel. However, as always, I will definitely show the deck list as I show at the end of every video. At least as much as I can remember at this point in time. I'm pretty sure I showed that at the end of every video. This is the current version, and this is the version that is also used in the other 2 duels that I'll be showing here, or showing in later videos there from those replays. So, as usual, we have our standard pieces of Exodia. Now, I did have to kind of prioritize what hand traps I wanted, and if you'll notice the difference between this version of the deck and previous versions of the deck, there's less actual hand traps, so to speak. It doesn't quite feel like the whole theme of being hand traps like it was before. Like you'll see, I don't have a Max C in here in this version of the deck. I don't have any. Oh, sorry, I do have Max C. I'm sorry, I have 3 Max C. I don't have card D in this deck. I have 3 Max Cs here. I still have the 3 Battle Faders, and I have 3 Effect Veilers. I don't have card D in here. I don't have the Ghost Bell. I have the Ash Blossom, but not the Ghost Bell. I have 1 DD Crow, not 3. So there were a lot of changes because I did want to, and I only have 2 Kaijus instead of 3. I still have the 3 Time Lords in here. I still have those guys. But I only have 2 of the Kaijus. Mainly because I had to fit in 3 cards, which would be Fusion Destiny and the Destiny Hero Celestial and Destiny Hero Dasher. These 2 cards don't get used for anything. They are bricks in the hand. But 1 Fusion Destiny gets me, as long as they're in the hand or deck, so as long as I don't use them at all, it gets me the Destiny Hero Destroyer, which is really important for this deck. Actually, Destiny Hero Destroyer has been extremely useful. It's like a very useful Time Lord, and actually that's part of why I've allowed it in this deck. Like I said, this deck is primarily a hand trap deck, and the more things I put in that are not hand traps, so to speak, the really the less of an actual true hand trap deck or pure hand trap deck becomes. But I mean, we still have the 3 Dark Holes, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Lightning Storms, 3 Evenly Matched. So we still have a bunch of field wipe cards that you just play from the hand. We still have our Pot of Avarice, which just recycles our hand traps even further. The reason why I kept Battle Fader instead of Swift Scarecrows is, again, even though Battle Fader does get in the way of Lightning Storm, I have enough combos now with other level 1s that I can do things like, Slack Magician into Downer Magician into Zeus, or I can play down, Effect Veiler or Ash Blossom, and then go into, uh, Crystron Halki Fibrax, and then from there go into Selene, Queen of the Masters, assuming 3 spells have been used at this point in the duel, and then, Access Code Talker. Have Appaloosa as a tech for very rare scenarios. Same with Nightmare Phoenix, very rare scenarios. Nightmare Unicorn, extremely rare scenarios. I have Baron de Fleur in here because there is an extremely rare chance that I can actually play it down because it's a level 10. The Thunder Kings, the Kaijus are level 9s, and then Effect Veiler is a level 1 tuner. That would get me a Baron de Fleur. Now, one thing these cards does do is this card, while I said I don't have a card D, the Destiny Hero Celestial, I want to say, yes, Destiny Hero Celestial becomes a Pot of Greed when I have no cards in my hand. So that helps. And then Destiny Hero Dasher allows me to special summon a monster when I draw it while it's in the graveyard. So these cards do great in the graveyard anyway. One's a Pot of D and one lets me special summon, which you'll see in a later duel. I actually use it to special summon a Kaiju. So if I have this in my graveyard, I special summon a Kaiju on my side of the field without having to, special summon one. Because before I had these cards in my deck, the only way to get a Kaiju on my side of the field or the only practical way for this deck was to have both in my hand, special summon one Kaiju over there, special summon one on my side, and then, the prime play or the ideal play would be to already have Battle Fader on my field from the previous turn, special summon the Kaiju to their side, special summon Kaiju to my side, play down an Effect Veiler, use the link the Battle Fader into Anima to yoink the second Kaiju, and then use a attack or whatever, or just use the Effect Veiler to synchro with the other Kaiju and use that to get Baron de Fleur. Very rare circumstances, but it's there. And then Destiny Hero Destroyer. But that is what this deck is. That is what this deck. Still, still the same 3 Time Lords. Metaion, Zaphion, Camion. Like, it's what it is. But this has been well for me so far. I'm still not in Platinum yet or the new Diamond rank yet. I've just started on this season, really. So yeah, so those are all the cards. Still, Link Kuriboh still got Relinquish Anima, but Predaplant is new, Destiny Hero. But anyways, I'm just jabbering on this point. Even then, I didn't mean to make this video that long, but even then, it's almost about 20 minutes here. So that being said, again, if anyone in there likes this deck, definitely use it. Exodia Hand Trap. I'm trying to make it like an actual thing here, right? But that being said, if you can think of anything that makes this more competitive while still keeping to the theme, because again, the only reason why I didn't fully explain it before, I guess, but the reason why I keep Destiny Hero Destroyer or put it in this deck is because it leaves the field like Time Lords do. They don't stay on the field long. Now, granted, like Baron, Zeus, and Access Code Talker, they tend to stay on the field, but Destiny Hero is more like a Time Lord in that it doesn't stay on constantly, but it has excellent disruption, and that's what this deck is all about: disruption and trolling with hand traps. So that being said, and of course, trying to win with the ultimate hand trap Exodia, that very rarely does that happen, but at the same time, the fact that this deck gets the wins it does while having Exodia not even winning with it, that just shows how powerful a deck like this can be. So, with that being said, thanks for stopping by, y'all. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. If you got any ideas, put them in the comments as to what can make this deck better, faster, more consistent, while keeping in theme with it being a hand trap Exodia deck. Definitely open to it. Check out my other videos for previous versions of this deck. And yeah, just tell me what you think, and I hope you enjoy it. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.